us a little bit about living with Wolfram over the years, some things they're doing with their lives at the moment. Oh, I can't stand the lights in the bit of inspiration for some of you that might be struggling and thinking, God, this life's a bit rubbish. You know, I need something with some purpose. What can I do? And then at the end, we'll just, if anyone's got any questions, or if any of you in the audience have got things you want to share about what you're doing, some inspiring stuff for everyone, that's where we go. So, Naomi, did you want to go first? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay.
So we'll give you the microphone.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So this is Naomi. Yeah. Can you hold this up?
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Hi, my name's Naomi. I'm 31 years old. I was officially diagnosed with Wolfram syndrome when I was about 16, 17. I did go to secondary school, and I did A-levels, which was good. And probably when I was at school, my main barrier, I suppose, was the hearing. But when I studied, I was very well supported with my studying. But it was hard socially, because I was sort of separated from my peers because I was well supported, like academically. And when I left sixth form, I studied with the Open University, which I really enjoyed. I did combined social sciences, which was really good fun, and I was well supported by a study assistant who read out to me in the laptop, and I had like speech software as well, so that was really good. And throughout that time I did some voluntary work. I used to do voluntary work doing hand massaging at care home and day centres, where I did the hand massage, hand arm and massage training with the Red Cross, which was really good. Throughout the pandemic, it affected many people, and since then I've been a telephone befriender for Deaf Blind UK, a mentor for Look UK, where I help a mentee who's got dual sensory impairment herself, and I give her advice and support where I can. And otherwise, I like going to this art group, and I never thought I'd be able to enjoy art, but I found out it's something I can do, which I really, really enjoy. And I enjoy going to this visually impaired readers group, where I get to speak to other people with a visual impairment and have lunch, which is lovely. And when I was back at secondary school, I learnt Braille, and it's now like second nature. I can just read it. Like learning another language, it takes time, but it's worth it. And also I should say, with my guide dog Crusoe, who has been amazing, I got him in 2016, and he's helped me to gain confidence and independent and getting out and about, so I can meet friends for lunch and go to cafes, etc., which I really enjoy. And apart from that, I enjoy seeing my nan, spend time with family and friends, like either playing cards or Scrabble, or going to cafes and lunches. And it can be difficult with Wolfram syndrome, but there is help and support around that, and when you can, make the most of every opportunity you can, and don't let it stop you, because there are ways around it. Thank you very much for listening. I'm happy
Crusoe's a pretty good star too, isn't he? We love Crusoe, don't we?
Sorry?
We love Crusoe too. Yeah. Georgina, I'll get you to...
Yeah, talk a bit.
Hi, I'm Georgina, I'm 27. I live with my partner Adam in Bristol. Currently I work part-time at Waitrose, about 18 hours a week. I work on the checkouts. I've had a couple of adaptations made. My colleagues are really helpful with my eyesight. They help me read barcodes. I have to get them to do the age approval for me because I can't see people's IDs. Apart from work, I also volunteer, and I've now got the offer of a job working at a special needs school as a teaching assistant, which I find really helpful. I really enjoy working with the special needs children, and I can use my own experience being visually impaired. So I was diagnosed when I was 16, following a diagnosis of type 1 diabetes when I was 14. As I was saying when I came in, I suspected I had Wolfram around the age of 15, 16 because I'd had symptoms of diabetes insipidus since I was about 3 years old, or maybe from birth, but they wouldn't diagnose me with it. I haven't let it stop me. My eyesight's a bit of a problem, but I can get around myself using a bus pass. I've got Adam, my chauffeur. We've got a Motability car, so I pay for the car with my PIP benefits, but Adam can drive it for school, to work at school. So I can get the bus around when there are buses, because they've currently cut them. I use a white cane to get around. Like Naomi, I also did an open university course, which took 5.5 years. But I'd really recommend it to anyone thinking of uni, because it means you can study at home, you can do it part-time, you can do it at your own pace. They're really supportive. I got a disabled students allowance, which gave me a really good laptop. I got magnifier and speech software on it. I got a load of equipment that really helped. And 2 years ago, I got my degree in health sciences. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Last but definitely not least is Abby, who's also one of the trustees on our board, so she needs no introduction really.
So my name's Abby. A little bit about my medical history. So I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at around the age of 4. I was then diagnosed with diabetes insipidus at the age of 12, which prompted investigation into Wolfram syndrome, which I was diagnosed with at 13. I started to lose my sight from about the age of 14 and was registered severely sight impaired in 2023. I think COVID kind of made that a longer process than it needed to be, so I probably would have been diagnosed as severely sight impaired a lot sooner, but obviously COVID kind of put a stop to that. In terms of education, I did an undergraduate degree at the University of Essex in psychology. I then, recently have completed my master's in sociology and criminology. By recently, I mean literally last week, so quite recent. In between that, I have volunteered as a teacher. I did start my teacher training twice. So first of all was during COVID as a science teacher at secondary school. I decided not to do that because I would not trust most people with chemicals, let alone someone that can't see. So yeah, that would have been a slight challenge. So I kind of took a step back from that and started volunteering as a psychology and criminology instructor. While doing that, I helped a girl that was registered severely sight impaired. I think it's the kind of higher education find it very scary when someone is diagnosed with something that they know nothing about. So I was able to help that student kind of through her sixth form years. After that, I was employed as an instructor for a year. I think it was mainly because no one else would do it. So they had no choice but to say, actually, we need someone, can you help us out? And after that, I then started teacher training again. But I think anyone that works in education will know that it's not just teaching, it's everything else that comes with it. All the politics and the stress, which started to make me quite unwell. So I again took a step back, and I am now starting my counselling skills qualifications to see if that's a career path that I would like to go down. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. In terms of living with Wolfram syndrome, I think I mentioned a few times taking a step back. I think you have to kind of be not afraid to take a step back and change the direction that you're going in. So obviously I tried teacher training twice it didn't work out, but I've still got my undergraduate degree and I've done my master's. I might think of more education in the future, who knows, but I think it's just important to kind of keep going. And as Philippa mentioned, I'm a trustee of WS UK, which is kind of good fun, but also gives me something to do. Also, I have recently bought a house, which is a positive. I have also recently got a puppy called Harley. Everyone says, why didn't you get a guide dog? And that's because I have Harley. He is a full-time job. So yeah, at the moment I'm kind of focusing on taking a year out after my studies and spending time with family, which I think is really important. I have 3 nieces, so spending time with them is really important to me. I like to see them at least once a week, mainly because they need to get used to me as much as I need to get used to them. So that takes a lot of my time, and yeah, that's me.
I'm very privileged to work with the adults who face daily challenges, and I'm sure for someone like Professor Barrett to see the children go through the service and come out the other end and fly with their lives is just inspirational. We've also got young Will in the audience. Sorry, I'm not picking on you, Will, but he's an amazing wildlife photographer, and I know he loves talking, and he'll show you his photos on his phone. Absolutely amazing. How he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning in the cold, I don't know, but amazing results. So there's lots of things. It is a challenge, it's really hard, but these guys do inspire. Has anyone in the audience got any questions for our panel that they want to ask or want to share anything? Oh, look. Oh, Marie. I need to run with the microphone. Oh, look, my steps up.
Thank you for that presentation. It was brilliant. And as I know all these 3 young women, I met them all through the Children's Hospital. I'm the transition coordinator at the Children's Hospital. And actually, it's something I want to ask you to help me as a professional. So, thinking back to the younger ones now, age 10, 11, 12, who are coming through the service, a lot of them, as they start to lose their sight, it's obviously very difficult for them and their parents. But I see a lot of parents then, although they want to build young people's independence, they don't sort of give them tasks around the home. They think that they're not able to do lots of things, so they don't let them in the kitchen, for instance, and teach them basic cooking skills and all sorts of things, because they've got a level of fear, really. They don't want these youngsters to fail, but actually they almost need to learn how to fail safely to be able to carry on. But have you got any suggestions or any advice about things like that?
Well, yeah, it does. So one of the things that I forgot to mention is you need to learn to laugh at yourself. You will fail. You will. It is, even without a sight issue, you will fail. I was talking earlier about a panel that I did previously, and the one thing that I said is, if there is a stage, I will fall off of it. There is no doubt in my mind that if there is something to go wrong, that's going to go wrong. I practiced walking up on the stage, and I did everything that I absolutely could to not fall off that stage. And as we were walking on, we went on from a different direction. I went straight off of it. I got back up and it was absolutely fine. I wasn't hurt at all. But there was a collective from the audience. At the time I was absolutely mortified. Now I find it hilarious because I said at the first step, I will fall off. And I did. So, I mean, honestly, I thought that was the worst thing that could happen. But it was funny. And I still did the panel, everything went fine. But yeah, I just think you need to learn to laugh at yourself. I mean, just the other week, oh, not even the other week, the other day, I was cooking dinner. My boyfriend Andrew will tell you, I've had some fabulous accidents with dinners. I put baking paper in a gas oven, set it on fire. I'm a very clever person, and I set the baking paper on fire. Didn't even think about it. But, you know, I didn't kind of put two and two together that just because I couldn't see the flame didn't mean it wasn't there. So, you will fail. But, you know, as long as you're still safe, just learn to laugh. Laugh it off. Things like, I have dyed many clothes pink. I've done absolutely anything that you could do, I've done it. And probably will still continue to do it. The one thing at the moment, so my puppy Harley, my brother bought a bell for Harley because I kept stepping on him. Bless him. So he's now quite a large dog, and he still has a cat bell on his collar, just because it was funny. But yeah, so don't let it stop you. Just learn to laugh at yourself. You will do stupid things. It doesn't make you a stupid person. It just means you're human. So yeah, I think that's my kind of tip.
Thanks, Georgina.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, learning to laugh at yourself. I mean, my colleagues are always telling me off for being a bit sort of, not self-deprecating, but learning to laugh about stuff. I mean, I'll go at work, I said, can we close the blinds on the windows, please? I'm blind enough already. Yeah, but in terms of, like, things around the house, Adam does help me a lot, but I think a lot of people think that if you've got a disabled partner, I think his colleagues think that I just sit at home waiting for him to get home. But as Abby will agree, we don't sit at home and just fester. We do have independence. I get around on the bus by myself. I walk places. I rarely get lost. Like Abby, you know, stuff happens. But you just learn to live with it. It's like chopping veg or whatever is pretty okay. Maybe I need a bit of help from Adam. But I'm pretty independent, yeah, I'd say. I wouldn't say that parents should be afraid of sight impairment. I think that's a major sort of thing with Wolfram, but it's manageable. It's not the end of the world, I'd say. Yeah. Do you have anything to say, Naomi? Okay, we're talking about independence and at home. Have you got anything to say?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Well, one of the things I do enjoy doing at home is helping, you know, where I can. In the past, I enjoyed, I learned how to like cut vegetables and things in a safe way. So I like helping Mum prepare vegetables. For example, roast dinners, which I like, or like help make like crumbles or scones.
I'm coming to dinner.
Something that you can, like, you know, do without really saying, you can just do when you do it. And another thing I forgot to say is when I studied at university, I sort of followed the particular pathway of psychology and politics, and I used to help do rhyme time at the library, which, well, I say singing, not singing, wailing, but with the children at doing that rhyme time at doing different nursery songs. It was something in a million years I didn't dream of doing. And then, you know, sort of like making friends and stuff. And back at school, I never had, well, not very good friends. And since I've left school and had to train with my guide, the Crusoe, who I got in 2016, Crusoe's helped me, you know, socialise as well as, you know, guiding me around, which has been really good. And, you know, I've made many friends, and I never dreamt it in a million years. So, and except, like, you know, when it comes to like helping around the house, if you like lived there a long time, or you need like some sort of like sensory support, or your parents can, or family or friends can like help you, like, you know, like can guide you around the house, or get special equipment, and like knuckle shelves for shopping, or like talking microwaves and stuff. It's really helpful, and it does make a big difference. Thank you.
Thanks, Naomi. And as Naomi says, there are lots of support. We've also got Talia and Zoe in the room who work for RNIB, who are going to be doing a talk and presentation on benefits, but they're also around and can advise on any adaptations you might need. Obviously, as the adult support coordinator, I'm at the end of the phone. I don't always know the answers, but I've got lots of ways of trying to help and support. Tim, did I see your hand up earlier? Did you want to say something? I seem to have 2 microphones. Oh, not 2 candles, 2 microphones. I'm coming. Oh, sorry, Toby. I'll try not to stand on you.
Thank you. So it's Tim Barrett here from the Children's Hospital. I wanted to ask a medical question, if that's okay. How do you find managing your diabetes? Are you using the new technologies for glucose monitoring and insulin? And what better improvements can we make to make the diabetes easier?
So that was actually one of my goals this year, improving my diabetes. Finally got my HbA1c down. It was nearly in the 70s, which is not good. So this year I got it to 52. Turns out I was on the wrong insulin, so that was a huge help actually getting on the right treatment. But I also recently started using the Dexcom, which I find really, really helpful. As Tim would know, years ago I did not look after my diabetes, not because I didn't want to, but I think I just thought there was more important things in life. At the time, I mean, I was about 14, so it was all going out with my friends, and also things like ordering pizza. I didn't want to be that person to say, no, I can't have that. So I just ate it, did what I want. So I've now kind of started to find ways around that, and the Dexcom has really, really helped me. And I think the main thing about the Dexcom is that the app itself is in large print, so that's really helpful. In terms of improvements, I think the main thing is making sure that things are accessible. So with the Dexcom, obviously that's accessible at the moment. If my sight was to get worse, I don't know how I'd quite cope with that. So I think it's about constantly kind of making sure that these things are evolving and changing to kind of suit the user's needs.
I use the competitor to Dexcom. I use the Libra, which I've had for about 4 years now, and it's really, really helpful, like the Dexcom. Again, it's really helpful having it on my phone, and it's a CGM, so it monitors my blood glucose 24/7. So if I have a hypo, it will sound an alarm. I had someone else's alarm going off, and I thought, oh, I'm not the only one in the room with a Libra, which is unusual. It's really helpful for if I have a hypochondria in the night or at work, it will just tell me without having to scan my sensor on my arm, and it's in large print. Doing the injections, that's fine at the moment. I count the clicks on the pen, that I can feel the clicks, so I know which dose I'm taking. Yeah.
Brilliant. Naomi, what do you use for your diabetes?
Sorry,
What device do you use for your diabetes?
okay, sure. Okay, well, with my diabetes, oh sorry, with my diabetes, I do have a Dexcom which is attached to my stomach, which I find really helpful. It's like a friend to me. I know one time I really didn't want it, but because I was like losing the signs and symptoms, so when I thought I was high, I was low. When I was low, I thought I was high. And with the Dexcom, it's amazing because, now, because I've got more up to date on my phone, it connects to my phone, it sort of vibrates, or you can change, what sounds you have in it. So if I'm going low or falling quickly or rapidly falling or rising quickly or rapidly rising, I get a sign, like an alert on my phone, and then it'll give me time to correct it. And then what's really helpful is it lets you know if it's rising or falling or if it's constant. Well, when you do a finger prick, you don't know if it's going up or going down. So that's kind I thoroughly recommend. The only, if there is improvement, I know it's early days at the moment. I'm sure many of you come across it that some diabetes consultants have said about a pump. And at the moment, there is a pump, but it's not one where you can necessarily access it through hearing. And I think if the pump combined with the Dexcom, if it was suitable for someone with hearing loss as well, then that would be a big help.
Yeah. And we've got Michelle in the room, who's a diabetes nurse, and Tim, who'll help any questions you might have. Thank you. We're running out of time now. Shall we just give one more round of applause to these amazing young ladies? We're going to be around in Gardner, so thank you, Simon, and thank you for